Hello everyone, this is just the support video on week 4, so I'm going to click on that folder. This week we're talking about assessment and collaboration. So I've put together some materials here. So as you can see, this is the task list. So first you'll of course watch this overview video for this week. Then we'll do I have the class agenda, and then of course what's next, so what's do your homework. I have the PowerPoint available right here, and I also put together, to support you in activity 3, I put together a brainstorm activity, and I'll be handing that out to you in class, but I thought I would also put it here in case you wanted to download it or whatever. So let's just go through now. So here is the agenda. We're going to do a warm-up on the PSYOP intervention of interaction. So that's how we can increase the amount that our students are speaking with each other and working together, and that we're also allowing them appropriate amount of time for processing and answering. We'll have 2 disability presentations, one from Kelsey and one from Jen. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the pre-referral activity that you turned in, and what are the best practices that you found, and are they actually happening in your school sites. We'll discuss a little bit of activity 2 and then the IRIS module, and then we'll move on to assessments. And I just want you to note that the chapter 4 that I had you read, Assessing Student Needs, really focuses on these two things right here: monitoring progress and making educational decisions to support learners. And that's a lot of what this is about. And guess what? That's also what your activity 3, the first question, is about. So as you can see, we'll talk about it in class, you'll read about it in the textbook, and then hopefully get some really great answers. So we'll talk a little bit about high-stakes achievement tests, standardized achievement tests, psychological tests, and curriculum-based assessments. And this is probably the most important of all the skills that we're talking about in this, because this is what you are expected to do as a general educator. Then we're going to go through and talk a bit about collaboration. That's actually the reading for the following week, chapter 3 of your textbook, and this is a really great chapter, so please make sure that you get that read. It's going to give you a lot of really wonderful tips on how you can work with other people, and it will also help you answer question number 2 in activity 3. So here we go. We've got the barriers. We've got different types of co-teaching, working with families, working with educators. And then I have the interview with stakeholders, which is a task stream activity for this course. And in class, we're going to come up with 5 questions that everyone's going to ask, and then 2 questions that just you are going to ask. You're going to come up with 2 questions that really have to do with whatever stakeholder you choose. And then we're going to present this information together to each other on the 27th. Some topics that we can think about for the questions, the 5 questions. I just basically went down some of the main topics that we've covered so far, and then we can create questions that possibly go with these, if that's what you want to and think would be important. So you can see activity 3 has 3 questions on it. The first one is: name 3 ways you can support progress monitoring and educational decision making for all students in your class. And remember, that's a huge piece of what's in chapter 4 on assessing student needs. The second one is a collaboration statement. And remember, chapter 3 is all about collaboration. So I want you to tell me about how you'll collaborate with other educators, how you will avoid barriers to communication, and how you'll support parents and families. And then the final question is a feedback question. And I just want to know how you're feeling about my, Dr. Jez, teaching style, support, and the course in general. Is there anything that I can do better to ensure this course is impactful to your teaching? I really do want to do the best that I can in supporting you and becoming the best educator you can. And so all of this feedback I take very seriously. So please let me know if there is anything that I can do. Then just what's next, our homework. So by the 19th, you'll need to read chapter 3 so that you can finish activity 3. You're going to complete an interview with the stakeholder. And then the 20th is actually President's Day, so we have no class and we're not doing a Zoom, so it's a purely online module. So you'll need to look on on Blackboard, week 5 online module, and that's where you will get all the support materials for that. And then on the 26th, that will be when your week 5 module assignments are due, and one of them will be reading chapter 9, which is on differentiation of instruction. Completing your veteran teacher's observation, because we will be talking about the observations on the 27th when we meet for class again. And then, of course, activity 4, which will support chapter 9. And that will be how I determined that you were able to pull out the important pieces of the chapter and also apply all those pieces to your teaching practice. And then we will also have the IRIS module that we'll be doing that week. And just so you can see, it's the same 5-step process as the last IRIS module. And although there are actually 4 different parts to this, I'm sorry, I'm actually only making you do the first part for this class. But you are welcome to go through and do all 4 sections. All right, let's just go quickly through the module and what it looks like. So here's the task list that goes through all of that. Here's the stakeholder interview assignment. And you can see it's a task stream assignment. And then I just want you to write the name and title of the person you interviewed, the date of the interview, the ages or grades of the student or students they serve, and then list the 7 questions and transcribe their answers below. And then we'll present that information from the interview to the class. But you'll turn the interview in right here. Then for activity 3, as I promised, there's these 3 questions. I, of course, made a Word document if that is helpful to you, but you should be able to also just type right into this activity. So when you click on it, it gives you the questions, and you can write the submission here, or you can attach a file there and then hit submit. And that brings us through for this week. So if you have any questions, as always, please do call, text, email. I really do want to make sure that I'm supporting you and that you're not stressed about this class, but rather feeling good about the way that you've been able to really access this information and think about how it improves your practice. Have a great day.